sent for me, sir?
I send for a lot of angels. What is your grade and serial number?
4532160. Angel first class.
Oh, yes. You're the clerk down in the Roman branch.
Yes, sir.
I see it's been a long time since your last promotion.
Over a millennium, sir. But we've had trouble with the budget.
How well I know. How would you like to wear another stripe?
Very much, sir.
Well, you understand, of course, that this promotion would depend on your willingness to accept an assignment with greater responsibilities.
Just, what is this new assignment?
Well, we have a request here from planet Earth for a guardian angel for the WAFs.
WAFs?
Yes, women in the United States Air Force.
Women? In the Air Force?
Why are you so surprised? Women have had a say in military matters ever since the Stone Age. Well, they're really very important to the Air Force.
This doesn't sound like an assignment for me, sir.
On the contrary, I've heard what a great job you did for Helen of Troy.
Thank you, sir. What about the WAFs? What are they like? What do they do?
Well, come over here, my dear. Now, to begin with, the WAFs are young women who join the Air Force because they want to. There they are. Young women from all over the country. Of course, they don't become WAFs overnight. Well, there are a few rough mornings involved.
Fallout, 2 minutes. On the double.
Learning to move about as a group is all part of basic training. Of course, there are always those who are something special. The ones with 2 left feet. After a couple of weeks, they discover they're quite normal, that they have one each, a left and a right. And they're mighty happy about it.
Oh, no. I know I was 2 left feet. Now she has a left-hand read. Oh, no. Left read. Oh, no. Left read. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And they indoctrinate them, teach them a few things about the Air Force. Practical things like how to tell a buck sergeant from a second lieutenant.
The salute will be rendered to all commissioned officers. That includes warrant officers. Are there any questions? Yes.
What do you do when you're not sure about saluting?
Well, follow this simple rule and you can't go wrong in the Air Force. If he growls, salute. If he smiles, salute. If he winks, wink back. But don't forget the salute.
Yes, WAFs learn quite a few things. Useful things like good grooming. This is feminine know-how, important to any young woman in or out of uniform. Some good instruction and a little practice sets a slump walker well on her way to gracing any drawing room. As part of her training, a WAF learns how to act in an emergency. And a WAF gets to know all about airplanes. After all, it's her business. It isn't long before she's tossing around flight talk like a veteran, and she can tell you the difference between the empennage and the fuselage. Yes, it's a great day for those girls when their basic training is over and they're ready for assignment.
You mean to say that they send the WAFs right out on jobs?
Let me show you what happens. To fit the right mortal to the right job, each and every WAF goes through what is called career guidance. After a series of tests, the girls talk it over with trained counselors who have the knack for finding out what a WAF can do best or what she would like to do.
After I finished high school, I worked in a bookstore. I'd like to do something different now.
I think the Air Force can manage something different for you.
Thank you.
Those who bring useful experience to the Air Force are assigned immediately to responsible jobs, while the others are sent off to technical schools for thorough training. At Air Force bases all over the country, WAFs learn to be useful members of a team. A big Air Force team.
Team. You mean they're office workers in uniform?
Oh, not at all, 4532160. They do much more than that.
For instance?
Well, a good for instance is the WAF parachute rigger. She is as expert as her brother airman in packing and repairing a parachute. But parachute rigging is just one of many important jobs she works at daily. Here's a personal equipment technician. She looks after all the flight gear that the men aloft depend on for their safety. And there are WAFs in flight control service who account for the movements of all aircraft. They follow the rule that every plane must arrive at its destination safely. And if it doesn't, they take the necessary steps to find out why not. WAFs share honors with other airmen in directing traffic from the fishbowl.
Kelly Tower, Air Force 463, gear down and locked, over.
Roger, Air Force 463, you're cleared to land.
Now over here, in the field of Air Force communications, are newly created WAF specialists who send messages over a worldwide network by push-button teletype. In photography, WAFs are on the job everywhere. She not only clicks the shutter, but develops the negatives and makes the pictures. What's more, women in the Air Force are working in all branches of photography. They even develop 16mm motion picture film with the most modern equipment. They run the show for those who want to study the record of combat missions. It may surprise quite a few mortals to know that WAFs work as radar mechanics and in electronics generally, doing the kind of jobs usually set aside for men only. And where a woman's touch really counts, WAFs are always lending a helping hand. They are working as medical technicians and at many other tasks vital to the health of all airmen. Yes, a WAF measures up to a lot of interesting assignments. Her skills as a draftsman or commercial artist are equally useful to the Air Force. When it comes to conditions up in the wild blue yonder, WAFs observe the weather every hour of the day. They keep an eye on the barometer and watch which way the wind blows and how fast. All this information is recorded on weather maps that are sent out to all Air Force bases by facsimile machine. Weather, good or bad, is mighty important to the men who fly the planes. And hot or cold, summer or winter, WAFs are on the job, collecting accurate data. As you can see for yourself, women in the Air Force have a pretty bright future.
Now, you're not going to tell me that someday they can be generals.
They do become officers if they...
Oh, if there's a catch.
Oh, no, there's no catch. Any enlisted WAF may apply for officer candidate school. If she has the right qualifications as to experience and education, she is selected for training as an officer. Also, qualified women may apply directly from civilian life. As officer candidates, they attend the same schools with the men. And when they are graduated from officer candidate school, they are commissioned second lieutenants.
I can see where a WAF may carve quite a career for herself, but Well, what kind of life can she have away from home?
Well, actually, she becomes part of a big family. The community of Air Force life provides a home and all its comforts. A WAF's quarters on an air base is as cheerful as she wants to make it. For the more dreary tasks, life can also be beautiful. All the conveniences near and dear to a woman's vanity are as handy as the base exchange, the local Air Force Base department store. WAFs seldom, if ever, dine alone. Mealtime is the time for choice morsels, both kinds, food and gossip. The rules for men and women are the same. That is, with one exception. In the day room, the WAF's own living room, it's always open house for entertaining friends and relatives. Yes, the Air Force is home. Home for a great big family who work, play, and worship in the American way. Something bothering you, 4532160? You're wondering whether they ever have any fun, huh?
Frankly, I am.
Well, have a look for yourself.
Dancing cheek to cheek. Mortals say it's heaven, you know.
Yes, so I've heard. But suppose we get back to Earth and the WAFs.
Well, I guess I have a decision to make.
Yes, but it shouldn't be too difficult. After all, being a guardian angel for the WAFs is as sensible a career as being a WAF. It's a worthwhile kind of life, where men and women work side by side, keeping the same rules and sharing equal opportunities. And they may well hold their heads high, for theirs is the satisfaction of serving their country, along with women in other services. And theirs is the pride of accomplishment that comes of helping to keep free skies over a free world.
Always walk in a military manner. Hey! Always walk in a military manner. Don't say no to your commander. If I'm falling after my fall, left or right or left. Left or right or left. Guy right. Left or right or left. Guy right. Oh no. 1, 2. Once more. 3, 4. Break it on down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.